All right, all right, all right. Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. Hope you all having a great day. Let's make sure you all can hear me. If you would please type the number 1 in that comment section. Let me know that you can, that chat box. I would greatly appreciate it. I think you're off a little bit there, Jim. Might be. Or is that your way of messing with me? All right. Jim said, happy May 1st to you as well. Either he's off by a month or it's an April Fool's joke. One way or the other. I know my wife's been playing them all day long on the kids in her class. So my daughter has no school today. They're closed. But all right. Should be able to see me. I see me moving. Excellent. 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 Okay, appreciate it, Kevin. All right. Well, as we get started, keep in mind everything we look at is for education. Nothing's meant to be advice or recommendations. If you find something you like, anything, make sure it fits your own personal risk profile and risk tolerance before ever taking on a trade, a setup, or adding an indicator to the mix. All right. So we've got a lot happening this week. We've got check-in tonight on Inner Circle, April 1st. Mastermind group coming up tomorrow night. Trading You is on April 4th. So also this week, I don't have my April calendar up yet, but that's Thursday, I believe. We've got a Weekly Whispers Q&A next week on the 11th. So Power Hour Training Coaches Playbook are all on their regular schedule. We have a brand new training coming up called Golden Rules for a Golden Retirement. If you truly want to know what it takes to retire and retire well, not have to worry about money, not have to worry about income, get certain guarantees that even if the market goes crashing, you're not going to lose a penny. The person you want to talk to is Mr. Dale Zamzo. He's going to be teaching a training there, 3 of them, April 9, 10, 11. We got a mix of 8 p.m.s and 12 p.m.s. But go ahead and check that out. Power option plays this week will be on Tuesday, not on Monday. Lee, we need to change power option plays on this document. They're Mondays, Thursdays now, so we got to change it here. Ironically, this week it is Tuesday, right? Because we had the holiday on Friday. So to do it on Thursday, which was really Friday, which was just for Monday, for one day, we're going to do it. We did it on Friday of last week. We're going to do it Tuesday, and then we'll do our next one on Thursday. So we have 2 days in between each one. Other than that, Covered Call, E-Mini Think Tank are on their regular schedule. Did I state it May 1st, Jim? Well, maybe I screwed up there. That's very possible. Very possible. I appreciate you catching it. All right, here's our follow us page. Make sure you're checking out the various platforms out there. We've got a new faceless TikTok going up there, which is going to be all mindset for traders. We will let you know that one as soon as we get it complete, but we've started building them out this last week. We started building those out. So that's very powerful and all mindset stuff that I've come up with over the past. So we're going to have a lot of that coming through there. So make sure you follow on the various platforms. Here's our Trading Boss Manifesto. You can download this right on the homepage as well as on tradinglikeaboss.com as well as robertjroy.com. Trying to give you plenty of places to go to give you access to the information. All right. And then we've got Weekly Whispers, guys. You'll see some emails come out on that. Tony does a phenomenal job with that. I just actually spoke with him a few minutes ago. Hour ago, not true. About an hour ago. Was just on the phone with him. So, yep, I appreciate it. Lee dropped in a link there, guys, for it. I started with Happy May 1st. April Fools, I guess I have slept since Thursday. I haven't slept since Thursday afternoon. Exactly. Okay. All right. So what trades did you guys get off today? What did you do today? Let me see exactly what it is. Drop them in. I don't care if they're funded or non-funded. I don't even need you to explain it because I don't care. We're going to assume everything is non-funded here, as we will about the trades that we talk about, since we're not legally allowed to talk about funded trades. There are some that just don't get that. Oh, you're so crazy. You're not telling the truth. Man, you guys are so freaking off in left field. If you had any idea what an SEC investigation was, I promise you. Is my screen not shared? Damn. My apologies. Lee probably dropped it. Yep, Lee dropped it in there. I just never caught it. Yeah, it's not a joke, Helen. I just didn't have it shared. So, right? There's everything coming up, including the golden rules for golden retirement, right? We've got our followers page, Trading Boss Manifesto, Weekly Whispers, and we stop there. All right. So what trades did y'all do? I want to know. Drop them in the chat box there, right? And in all reality, guys, this is not about did you do a funded or non-funded trade, because it really doesn't matter. Because I can tell you right now with pure clarity, there are individuals I've talked to over the last couple of weeks alone, more than one, that have just not in years even placed their first non-funded trade. Right? Others that after years have finally started with their non-funded trades. Why? Because I drive home so many times, you got to keep hitting the enter button. The only way you're going to do this is hit enter, hit enter, hit enter, hit enter. Right? So that's the biggest part of it, is hitting the enter button. Let's see. Make sure I didn't miss any. Okay, here we go. So first one was John put in Wheel of Fortune, GTLB, GameStop, naked put, lift, diagonal spread, DFs, cash flow, $1,200. Very nice. Very nice. Scott said Hakanashi on the IWM for 31% rate of return on my first 5 contracts, and 32.5% on my second 5 contracts. Fantastic. I believe, Scott, y'all had some a new individual in there today, correct? I bet they were impressed with that trade setup. Yep, exactly. I don't know if he's here yet. Let me see. He's usually in. I'm not seeing him just yet. So we have one individual that transitioned from, I met with him 2 weeks ago. He transitioned from Mastermind into Inner Circle. Today was his first day in that group, and he watches Scott pull in 31% on the first 5 contracts and 32.5% on the second 5. Nice. Trader Will, 38%, closed a few Vegas spreads for a few $100s. There we go. There you go. Excellent. Jeff said for Friday's covered call, 120 option, $240 collected, or CC, on ARM. Nice. Very nice. Excellent. Excellent. So in power option plays, and this is my tracking sheet that I go through and I write this for myself every single day. Okay. I don't fill out all of the earnings per se all the time. I only write down the earnings that are pertaining to me right now. As we go through them, I will write them all out at times when we get into, very heavily into earnings season, so I can see who's coming up. But for us, Goldman Sachs, Netflix, and United Healthcare are the 3 that we want to focus on right away. And actually, who else? Tesla. I got 2 different earnings numbers this week on Tesla, so we went with the early one just to be precautious there. But it takes me 5 or 8 minutes or so to fill this sheet out, and I'm done. Right? I could go through the candidates pretty quick and determine the bias, determine the rank, support and resistance, 2 on the downside, 2 support levels, 2 resistance levels, and how I plan to trade it. Right? And then I'll go through after the in either in the evening or in the morning before the market opens, and I will update everything, meaning I'll go through and look at all the candidates pre-market and say, okay, which ones do I like the most? Who's setting up for the things that I called for? And we'll do that. So we had a lot of day trades last week where the call was to take a day trade, right? We had 1 bullish trade show on MasterCard. We did not get taken into that trade today. And this was on Thursday's close. We had no training or no market on Friday, so today was the day. So we did not get it. It actually moved up. It got within 25 cents of hitting our target and failed. There's a reason we put the entries where we are, where we do. It never made it to our entry, failed off of there. Now it still might, but we're not in that trade as of yet. That trade was set up as an automatic. If it triggers today, it triggers today. The other one was W Day, right? And W Day was bearish. Aggressive below 271, bearish 271 aggressive, right? So we opened up today at 272.77. We took the entry as not a 270.277, right? Because it was too high. We waited for it to come back down to 271. We're right now at 271.36. This is a day trade. I will not be carrying this overnight. It's a weekly expiration, right? So here it is, Monday. We will be in this trade, out of this trade today, regardless of what's happened on this, right? What I like the most about getting filled on this is the S&P 500 is down about 18 points right now. W day is down about $1.50 or so, give or take. So, and we've got plenty of room to run down to that next support level of 265.40. So we got a lot of opportunity there to the downside, right? I'll be more than happy to take it. You know, this is a stock that moves on average about $6 a day. We've got 5 and 3 is 8. We have $8 inside of here. So can we get all the way to 265? We can. Do I expect it? No. Is it a regular occurrence to go more than the average true range? Not a regular occurrence, but it does happen, but not regularly. It's only $2 over. So yes, we definitely would move beyond it at times. There are going to be days like today that we may just sit right where we are and do nothing, honey. Right? That's very, very possible. Okay. Now, you all want to make sure that you are focused, and I mean hyper diligently focused on the calendar this week. And if you saw the weekly whispers, if you saw the Traders Market Intelligence report over the weekend, you saw that there's an FOMC meeting, member speaking rather, tomorrow, which is at noon, 12:05. The important one is at 12:10. Powell speaks on Wednesday, right? Then you got two members speaking, 12:15 and 2 o'clock on Thursday. We do not have any on Friday. So there's a lot of Fed speak happening this week out there, all when the market's open. You want to know about that. Cautious as you're in there. I don't expect much from anybody but Powell as far as moving the market goes, but you may tend to see something in there. So just a little bit of caution as you're trading around that. Make sure you know your economic reports, what's coming out and when, right? Particularly on Fed stuff. All right, Scott said, I got a notification today that my BHC stock was called away. Overall return on investment, 14.5% over 13 weeks of trading. There you go. Scott, was this a covered call, a diagonal? What was it? What were you doing? Covered call. Okay. So 14.5% over 13 weeks. That's about 3 months. So you're looking at 4.75% a month. I want 3 to 5. You're right in there, pal. So great job. Great job. Excellent. I mean, yes, you'd like to keep it longer if possible, right? But, right, that's all par for the course. Very good. Very good. Okay. All right. So let's go and take a look at the S&P 500. And let's see what the heck is going on there. So if you watched the intelligence report, Traders Market Intelligence report over the weekend, and you should, I went in depth a little longer than normal, probably almost double what I normally do. I'm timing this, so I'm not going to rehash all of it, right? But I do want to go ahead and hit the highlights for sure. So, okay. V bottom, V top, that's where our fib is ended. Would I like to draw a new fib? I would. Here's my problem. Where? Do we pick this point and this point? Well, that ain't going to work. Do we say, well, let's go from here to here? No, let's get rid of that one. Well, maybe we should just get rid of that one and go up to here. But then again, why not go to here? And what would stop us from going to here or here? There is no real good rhyme or reason to this as far as where do I draw from? And this is a dilemma that we run into every couple of years. You're going to get this happens where we've got this rocking market. We wind up with a -1, a -1.618, a -2, a -2.618 because we don't have a clear place to draw from. The SPX, along with SPY, have given us this rocking retest, right? Love the pattern. It's a rocking move. Like it a whole lot. But it doesn't give me a place to draw. So I'm kind of hanging out in the wind right now, waiting for a redraw location on the S&P. Now, we may not have a choice but to make one up. That may very well be where I have to do, which I would probably do where this pullback started. The first real pullback started, and I'd go to the biggest drop. So off of that peak or so. But that would be my initial guess. Right? We don't have anything out there yet. So as we zoom in on this, what's going on? Okay. Hitting the button and nothing's happening, honey. So Friday, all-time high on Friday. Highest high on Friday was 52.64.49. I can put my mouse on it. You can check it out for you. So actually it moved. 52.64.85. So I was off a little bit. Let's make that right. I could have easily dragged it around. $85. Okay. Now the high today, we didn't quite get there. The high today was 52.63.95. So a dollar, give or take, about a dollar away. But it's great that we're pressing up, right? We're pushing up higher and higher and higher. You know, a lot of stair steps. I'm not worried about a break of the 8. We have done that multiple times. We got close down here to the 21. It was actually 2 days down below. We didn't see a lot of that. We were down here the next day back up. We were down here the next day back up. We were down here, second day down, meaning down below the 8. And then we gap back up. I remember that gap. And everything is just giving us a bounce. Breakthrough, shoom, skyrocket. Breakthrough takes off. Breakthrough, man, we really didn't break through there. We bounced. And we're kind of doing the same thing right now. Haven't broke yet, but we've got the 52.19 level, or that 52.17 level in there. We've got the 100-point level right below. We've got the 8 moving average. So we got a lot of reasons to support on the bottom. If it breaks through the 8, I'm not worried about it. If it breaks through the 5,200, I'm not worried about it. Doesn't mean I'm aggressively taking bullish trades because it broke through, but I'm not worried about it. Gets down a little bit closer to the 21. I'm not crazy about it, but I'm not worried about it. Break the 21, now I'm worried. That would be the only thing that puts me in concern, in fear, in having any worry whatsoever. When I say worry, just making sure that I know, time out, things changed. What do I need to do differently? On comes the thinking cap, and I do a reanalysis of the market for myself. I look at the chart and say, okay, what do I see happening right now versus what's happened? And I will literally compare, looking for patterns. Every time we break the 8, we come back the next day. We break, we come back. We did it one time, 2 days. We came back, and that. Okay, pattern. Excuse me. So I'm looking for patterns in there. I don't have anything to worry about right now, but that's the pattern I'm looking for. On the upside, we obviously want to break through the recent swing high. There's no question. Preferably, I don't want today to be the day that we finish where it is and then we take off tomorrow. No, I really would like to see us back down a little closer to that fib line / 8 moving average. And we're not that far. We might be okay. I just wouldn't mind another day down a little bit where the bears try and really can't drag it down, get a bounce. If we go ahead and we pull through on that 8, we close slightly below that 8, there's a good opportunity that the next day we're going to bounce, right? Barring news and the likes, right? What does Powell say? What does the other Fed chairman say? What do the other economic reports say? What do earnings say? And so forth. So that would just give me a little bit stronger pattern if we got the pullback and the bounce off of the, the breakthrough and the bounce. Because as traders have seen the breakthrough, the next day we take off. We gap. Right? We gap. Nothing really there. Okay. And then we've got that 52.84 right above that 52.65. So we've got some opportunity in there. Yeah. So Gwen said, is your 5 EMA the dotted line? It is. It's the dotted blue line that's in there. I purposely keep it very faint. Gwen, it's only used for me in the power option plays trade when I take a swing trade and I have my last exit. When I'm doing a 4-3-2-1 and I have the 1 left, or I'm doing a 2-1-1 where I do 4 contracts aggressive and we got 1 left, that's on a swing trade. Any swing trade I do, that would be my last exit on my swing trade. Breaking below. You've got to decide if it's a break below intra candle or break below on the close of the candle. Gwen said, I find that the candles hug that line repeatedly. Yeah, and right now they are. They are. And it's close enough to the 8 that there's very little difference between the two. Very little difference between the two. Yeah, and Gwen, it could sometimes also be just the way the charts are set up, if you're seeing variations in there. But because there's a linear way of looking at the chart, and I forget, algorithmic way of looking at the chart. I don't know. Mine was set up when I first started, and I've never looked at it again. Someone told me this is the way to set it, and I've always traded it, set it up that way. So we've got some room. We've got some opportunity there. We're in a good place right now. I mean, come on, how do you step back? I know it's busy, but we were down here below the 4181 not that long ago. Right? That was October of 23. We were down here. So I mean, October to April. So call it all of October, November, December, January, February, March. 6 months, we were down below the 4181 line. And now we're bringing in a little bit more so it's not as busy. We're pretty close to the next major line, which is 54.73. Just right around the corner. There's a lot of concern on VIX. I still hear about it. Oh, you see the gap up today? This is terrible. It's not. It's not. That's just it. We're up $1 on the VIX to 1404. So what? Prices of options did not change that much based on this. Yeah, they get a little more expensive, but what do you think? You're going to get down to 9 and stay there? It's not going to happen, right? Personally, I love the lower cost on the options for buying options, but it's horrible for my selling positions. I find more positions that don't give me enough premium than ones that do. So I like the VIX to be a little bit higher. I love it to be in that 18 to 29 level. But we're hugging now. I mean, we're down super low at $14. There's nothing to fear on this whatsoever. Today, things could change tomorrow, this afternoon, right? Could easily make a shift. Okay. All right. So I'm going to take us back over to the presentation. And I think we made a fairly bold statement in the email, the most powerful pattern of all time. I went back, and this weekend I had some free time available. My wife and my daughter, my youngest daughter, who still lives at home with us, spent some time on my older daughter's bridal shower. And she knows the date. She doesn't know the location yet. She picked the date that she wanted to have it on because it had to fit her work schedule because she's a nurse. So she picked the date. She knows who's being invited. I mean, she's very involved in her own shower, but my wife and my other daughter, her sister, will not share with her the details yet. They're like, nope, you're going to be surprised with something. And that'll be when you show up, you're going to be surprised. We're going to drive you there blindfolded. You're not even going to know where you're getting out. We're going to walk in blindfolded. She'll know the place as soon as she walks in. She's been there many times for showers, and that's what she wanted hers. Okay, so she may guess it's there, but she's not been told it's there. So they worked on invitations this weekend, my wife and my youngest daughter. This is just scary that my youngest is going to be 27 in 2 months, right? That's freaking scary. Anyway, so I had some free time available, and I went ahead and I did some digging on power option plays. And I went back and I looked at trade setups for the validity of the setup. Now, I didn't document it the way that I do a full-blown study when I normally do them. I didn't have that much time. This was just a couple of hours that I had, and I was just playing, okay? So one of the things I did this weekend was, so power option plays, I've split it into 2 different ways that we looked at trading it now. We've always done 10 contracts or 4. That's always been our norm. And in the last 2 years, 3 years with COVID, we started going with lower numbers on where we will never trade 10 contracts on a stock over $1,000. So Booking, Chipotle Mexican Grill, we're never going to trade 10. We always trade 4. Right now, Chipotle is going to change. It's going to be a $50, $60 stock soon because they're doing a 50-to-1 stock split. So, which I think was crazy for them to do that. You only do that when you don't want your stock to be traded any longer. Because I just don't think you're going to get anywhere near the activity to keep it viable. We'll see. Maybe the price is what's hurting it all along. We'll hope maybe bringing it down will get more activity. But then someone will look at it and say, well, 4 contracts on an Amazon, I'm going to spend, if it's a day trade, I'm going to, depending on the day of the week, I might spend $400 or $500, $800 on 1 contract, $4,000 or $5,000 or $8,000 on 10 contracts. Well, I can't do 10 contracts. Well, 4 If it's $8, it's $3,000. And I don't have the $3,000, right? To do it, right? The trade or whatever the numbers come out to be, $2,000, whatever it is. Okay. So we split it up where we started trading one contract and showing it in the numbers in one contract. I still trade it in 10s and 4s. We extrapolate it out for those that are trading just one. Here's the most important part of that, right? When someone looks at a number and says you made $900,000 last year, they just, for many, you can't fathom. You can't. Now, a lot of that comes down to getting the right mindset. And I can, show you some things and tell you some places to go and look for books and things that can help with some of that. But Harv T. Eker, The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, The Millionaire Next Door, great books, right? Harv T. Eker, The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, freaking brilliant. Brilliant. To me, it was divine intervention, that book. There's some salesy stuff in there, but man, when he talks about why you don't think you deserve to be wealthy, he is freaking spot on, because I see it over and over again. So having a millionaire mindset, not a problem for me. Been there for a very long time, way before being a millionaire. Been there for a very long time. Okay. And now some of you are going to say, but Rob, a millionaire is not that big a deal anymore. You're right. It's own 2 houses and you're probably a millionaire, right? If they're free and clear. But for me, I look at, okay, what's the next step? And my first thing goes to billionaire, right? Warren Buffett, right? And the likes of that, and Bill Gates, and not even ultra billionaire, just one. I'd be happy with a billion. I don't need 2. I don't need 10. I'd be happy with 1, right? I can't fathom, I can't wrap my head around being a billionaire. I have not been able to work my mindset to that level. The millionaire part, I think, is fairly easy to get to, right? Again, because so many people are able to achieve that status these days. I don't think it's that complicated today like it was, 20 years ago, to think I could be a millionaire at something, especially when people were making $12 for minimum wage or something not in a McDonald's. That was probably $7 or $8 then. In a factory, factories that I used to run, that was it. $12 was a new hire. Union job, $12. Okay. Welders, we paid $12 to start for welders, and that's experienced welders, right? So MIG, TIG, all of that, stick. We didn't pay 12 for stick, but anyway, right? So when you look at the numbers, when you look at the totals, right, on our 10 contract trades, we're up $210,000 or $15,000 for the year. When you look at the 1 contract trades, you're up $23,000 for the year. So when you think of it this way, let me get my calculator. Let's see, there we go. Good, open right up when I want it, although I'm going to lose it, right? So I right now have, actually, let's see. I have it here. I do. So I don't have March in there yet. I have not done the tallies of March as of yet. So for January and February, we're up $407.69 per trade, right? It looks like let's see. All right. So I could probably get away with it fairly easily, if I did a quick analysis without doing all the numbers. $17.16. Really not been a good month at all, right? If we look here, we've got, take 60 away from 78, that's 18 trades. Right? So $329.60 right to date on each trade that we've done of the 72 trades in total that we've done out there. All right. So it isn't oh my God, we're breaking the bank. But let me ask you something. Give me a 1 for yes and a 2 for no. If you were, well, actually, don't do that yet. Don't, just wait. Wait, watch. If it's okay, we're 3 full months of trading in there. That's about 22 days on average per trading week, per trading month. So we got 66 days. We have Yeah, 66 days. You know what? Here we go. It's easy enough. If there's 66 days, we've got 72 trades. We've done a little more than one trade a day. All right. So if you're able to do just one and you're able to make 300 and let's call it $325 a day on a trade. So if you could do $320 a day, and we're showing it for every single trading day, that's what the average came out to be. And we multiply it by 5 days. That is $1,600. So now, if you took these trades, you did just one trade-ish a day, just one, and you were able to make $325 a day, $1,600 a week, which in essence is just under $5,000 a month. How many of you would be satisfied, say, I am good with that number, I'll be happy to take that? Give me a 1 for yes, a 2 for no. It's okay, you can put the 2s in there. I actually relish it. Okay, good. You guys are freaking okay, 1-ish. Hey, Steve, glad you made it. So, Will, you were the first one that typed in a 2. Let me ask you, how do we rectify that, Will? How do we make it, if $325 a day is not enough, how do we fix that? Do I need to change my system? What do we need to do? There, Stephanie, you typed it in. Erica, you typed it in right away. You're trading more contracts. Yeah, but Rob, I don't want to trade more contracts. You don't today. But if you're someone like Will, who's trading 40, 50 trades a week, right? More contracts, he's got the experience. When he gets a system that works, boom, 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 he's just going to build on it. Scott's going to build on it. Erica's going to build on it. Stephanie's going to build on it. Trip's going to build on it. Jeff's going to build on it, right? Those that, and listen, there's a lot of you in here. I'm just grabbing names, okay? Recent names I see in the chat box there. Many of you are going to build on that. But those of you that are going, man, I'm afraid to trade one contract of NVIDIA or one contract of Netflix. Okay. But one better than 10. So trying to show that you can justifiably trade a lower number of contracts and still do extremely well. Are you going to have months like we do right now where we get this kind of blah, up, down, and we're not getting these big intraday moves? Yes, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Listen, it's not about winning. They didn't call it winning. They call it trading. It's not winning, it's trading, right? Which is both winning and losing and break even. So all three, I guess. Okay. So Scott said, we'll be adding one contract on my next Rut Iron Condor. How many are you up to now, Scott? 4. So Scott's doing 4 contracts now. Okay, he's adding another one, which goes to 5. Scott, how many have gone against you in the last 12 months? Do you remember? 1. I've been saying it for years. This is a major strategy we teach both in Inner Circle and in Mastermind Group. 1 trade in 12 months has gone against. Now, we do normally 1 trade a month. You might be doing 2. But 1 trade a month is the minimum. 2 is the max you should be doing. You should never do more than 2. It's a laddering technique that I teach. But 1 trade a month, 1 trade has gone against them, which should net, if everything went well and that one that went against you didn't crush him, probably nets for the year 40 to 55 or 60%, depending on how well he was able to get on premium. All right. We went 18 months and I just stopped measuring it of none had gone against us. Got close on 2 of them, but had not gone against us. Lot of answers. Guys, I appreciate all of this. Right? Sam said $2,000 would work. So Sam, look how close you are. Right? Look how close. At $1,600 a week, that's a week, right? At $1,600 a week, all it means is you need 1 or 2 more trades a week or a second contract on some of those trades. That's all it is, right? So Gwen said, I made $230 last week, entered another trade and stepped away to go to the bathroom. I got stopped out and I lost it all. Yeah, and it happens. It absolutely happens, Gwen. Yes. But you had your stop in place. Think of it that way. You can't say I lost money on it because you're always going to have trades that go against you. For me, about 64% of our, actually, I don't have I can't really do that. It's not fair because I don't have all my wins and losses in there. So it's not really calculating there at all. So let's see here. I guess easy enough to do, right? That's 1, 2, 3, 4 went against us. Of the 18, 4 went against us. So that means we have 14, 4, and 0. Right? So 83% win rate. No, it's not carrying forward. I don't know why. 83.33% win rate. Let's make sure it's there. AF24. Yeah, these two. Okay. Yeah. So we're good. We're good. Okay. 83% win rate. So 17% of my trade is going to go into. So Gwen, it's going to happen. Again, a lot of you said more contracts. Barry said double the number of contracts. We actually talked about that not long ago in Monster Market Movers. More contracts and diversity, Will said, and trade later into the day, which you can't really do, Will, right? But your life doesn't really allow that too much. How much is needed in an account to make this with one trade a day? So just for kicks and giggles, it's not the most volatile stock. It's certainly not the least volatile stock. Let's go take a look at W day. By the way, these are all day trades. Even if we held over on a swing trade and with our 10 contracts, we count it only as a day trade. We're out the same day. No ifs, no ands, no buts. Right? Let's go. I just want this to load. It doesn't like that. Let's try a different symbol. It brought up the option chain. I don't know why not. Okay, W day. Oh, what happened? Come on. You know what? The option chain, everything on TradeStation right now, very slow. Running mighty slow. All right, there's W day. Let's see. All right, that was switching up. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So guys, we're looking for a 65 to 85 delta, 100 open interest. I've got a 73 delta, 195 open interest. You're talking about $660 if you get in that mid price to do this W day trade today. That's it. Actually, we did puts. My bad. There won't be enough open interest on it. I know, because I saw it when we placed it before. All right, so let's go look at some more strikes. 75 delta. We did have enough open interest. My bad. So $6 right there, 595. Right? That's all it takes, $600 to do one contract on this trade. It's not a lot. Now, listen, I am not minimizing it, saying, oh, well, if you don't have $600, well, if you don't have $600, then you don't have $600. Doesn't make it good, doesn't make it bad. It makes it is. It just is. You've got to start with where you're at. Whether you have the money, don't have the money, made good choices, made bad choices, you are where you are today. You can blame yourself, and this goes back to the mindset component. And you can do the woe is me game. If I just had more money, if you just had more money in your account, you could just lose more money in your account. Don't look at it that way. Learn how to do this. I will promise you, if you get in on paper and you dig in and you just do this, I did 300 non-funded trades. If you did this on 300 non-funded trades over a 30 trading day period, I did 10 a day. I forced myself every day to find 10 trades to take. You can't do that. You find 2 trades to take. It takes you 120 days, 120 trading days. Okay. So you do 2 trades a day times 120 days. That's 240 trades you've done. And you see what happens with your earnings curve looking like this, right? And you have no money. I guarantee you will find the money now. You have a reason to find that money. You've got a belief that you didn't have before. You will go and wrap Christmas gifts around the holidays at Macy's. You'll get a part-time job for that. You'll deliver Domino's pizza. You'll get a paper route. You'll shovel snow, plant gardens, mow lawns. You will do whatever it takes, beg, borrow, steal. Not go out to dinner, not, go out and have a drink, not whatever. Don't go buy Starbucks, right? You'll buy Dunkin' Donuts or McDonald's coffee, which I'm not a coffee drinker, but I heard both of them are okay, right? Or even better, you'll just go buy a Keurig and pop it in at home. You do whatever you have to come up with the money to get started trading and to add to your account. And watch, when you can show people that what you're doing, Don't be surprised when people start throwing money in your direction. How much do you want? My wife has got an uncle that every time we see him offers me 100 grand and split the profits 50-50 on his money, whatever I make him. I won't do it. Now, there may be some mafioso connection there too, so I'm definitely not going to do it. But I'm not going to trade somebody else's money. If I lose my money, I lose mine. I'm a big boy. I'm okay with that. If I lose somebody else's, I would stress way too much over it. All right, more contracts. All right, Les, I hope that helped. Somebody said something about 25 grand. I'm not seeing it right now, though. Let's see. I thought I saw something that said 25,000. Maybe I misread it. There we go. So Tim said with less than $25,000 account, how do we avoid day trading designation, and which broker freezes the account? All of them, by the way. Okay. Most trades are day, not swing, it seems. Yes. So this allows you to do one trade every other day, basically, right? If you have it under $25,000, or if you're only doing a trade a day anyway, you take away the margin designation on that account, which prevents it from qualifying for the pattern day trader account. And you can trade as many times as you want until you run out of money. In other words, if you have $10,000 in your account and you went and did one trade today for 10 grand, you're done. And you got in and out today, you're done. You can't do another trade because you spent your 10 grand today. Margin will let you keep trading. Pattern day trader doesn't. You have $10,000 in your account, you did 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. You can do 5 trades like that in one day. Pattern day trader rule does not exist if you have no margin account. But then you've got to look at, are there trades you want to do that you can't do because of that? So it's a double-edged sword, but that's the way around it, Tim. Is that. Kevin said most of my trades are 1 to 3 contracts. There you go. I mean, and Scott said on the one trade of the rut that went against him, the Iron Condor, it was a $125 loss. Where every other trade, if he's doing 4 contracts, he's making $400 on that 4 contracts a month. And the one that went against him was $125. Again, everything is non-funded, right? It is the cost of doing business, Kevin. Yeah, I'm working on that, Will. My uncle, my attorney, and my ski buddy are all offering to throw money at him. I got an offer you can't refuse. Steve, you know my family. Yes. Without a doubt. Yep, someone said want to give me 50 grand. I don't have the time for today, Gwen. But you can go online and learn how to use a trailing stop. I mean, that's easy enough, you know, or call them. They'll set you up an appointment. This option chain, Brenda, is WD. Well, this is actually Agile. I don't know why it's changed. My option chain is just bouncing all over the place. Right? I don't know, but you get the idea. All right. Scott said you can have 2 margin accounts and alternate between the 2. You could, but then you split your money in half. But yes, you can. So if you got $10,000, you can put 5 and 5 into an account. You do it with different brokers. You could do 5 in a margin account, 5 in a non-margin account. Right. So, but that's the key, Tim, is the margin account part. That's the key. So, yeah, lots of YouTube videos for trailing stops. Exactly. I appreciate that, Stephanie. Good point. Yeah, you could do 2 cash accounts, Jonathan. You could do 1 cash, 1 margin. You just decide how you want to do it. You decide how you want to do it. You've got the answer. Now you just need to know how to weaponize it, right? And that I don't have that answer for you. That is an individual, you know, based on your risk. Do I want to do 1 margin, 1 non-margin, both non-margin, 1 account, 5 accounts, different brokers? That really is just a personal preference. Trader Will said there are companies out there that will get 30 grand to 50 by applying for cash bank credit cards 0 to 12 months. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not telling anybody to borrow money on a credit card to trade with. That's rough. But yep, there are places doing it. There you go, Jonathan. 1 day versus 2. Good. Yeah, so Gwen, just get on again and do the recording of it and ask them. But they'll show you. They'll walk you right through it. Not a problem. Not a problem. They'll be happy to work with you for it. Okay, so all of that about the spreadsheet and everything else leading up to the component of what is that best trade setup. When going back through, it's the same number of trades on the 10 contracts or 10 or 4 contracts. It's the same number because every trade counts as a day trade on this system. Okay, so we've done 78 trades this year. Every trade has been added into the system. And I go back and I analyze every single stock that's inside of this setup. Okay. And I want to go back and look at Netflix on March 26th. Okay. Let's go do that. Let's go look at Netflix. Netflix. Let's go find March 26th. Right there. Okay. It's going to put an arrow to it so we're not going crazy trying to figure out where it is. That's the candle. Okay. Yeah, so Pareto, Jonathan, is just that. It's the 80-20 rule. So they say that you will make 80% of your profits on 20% of your trades. Absolutely. Okay. So I want to back this up. Now, let me get the orange bar off the screen. And not the way I wanted to do it, but it'll work. Okay. Let's get the orange bar off the screen. You know what? Let's do this. Let's kind of move to the other side. All right. So here we are. We're sitting on 325, right? Which was a Monday. We had a confluence of the 8 and the 21. So what this basically tells me here is this. I have the stock near a fib line, and the 8 moving average is near the fib line as well. It's close enough that I would call this a bullish bias, and it would be true bullish. What does that mean? My 8 moving average is on top. My 21, the green, is on the bottom, middle rather, and on the bottom is the brown, the 55. So 8, 21, 55. Okay, I'm not wiggling that finger at you, I promise. Pink, green, brown. And we've got a nice steady move to the upside going on. So we're in a true bullish bias, and we have a rank of 1. Why 1? Well, this candle right here closed near a fib line, so that's good, but I don't have a confluence of a moving average. That would be a rank of 2. I'm okay to take the trade, but much better if I have confluence. I have confluence. It's not a given on every trade that I take, but it is a preferation. I prefer it. Okay, a preference. I would prefer to have it there, but it doesn't always show up. Okay, but when it does, magnifique. I love it. Right? It's awesome for me. So what am I looking for then? Well, we closed at 627.46. We have the fib line 382 is at 630.08. So is it? Something must be off. Let me see something here. 624.63. Okay. 624.63 is the fib line right here. Yeah, if you can see on the far right. I was reading the wrong number. So we got a nice move off of it. We closed in the right spot. Tomorrow morning, if we were opening right where we were, I would be, remember, position 1 in the chair is back here. Can't touch the keyboard, not ready to do anything. Position 2 in the chair, I'm very focused on the chart. Position number 3, I'm moving forward, getting up on the keyboard and placing the trade. Okay? But I would sit into position number 2 in the chair immediately on this setup. I like it. So what do I want to see happen? I need a pullback. I need a pullback, and I need a bounce, right? So all of this is done, everything I've shown you now on an end of day chart. Nothing to do with intraday. End of day chart. Do I like it? See, if I like it, I go to the next step. You just went on a first date. I liked it. I'm going to go on a second date. You didn't like it, go date somebody else. You don't like it on Netflix, go find a different stock tomorrow. Okay? Brenda said, what do I mean by rank? So I give stocks a rank of 1, 2, or 3. 1 means we've got a confluence of a fib line and a moving average. 2 means we're closed near a moving, I'm sorry. 2 means we closed near a fib line, but no moving average. 3 means we closed in the middle. This candle right here was a rank of 3. That right there says whatever. I'm not interested. Goodbye. Next. Right? I don't want anything to do with you. So a 1 is ideal. A 2 is okay. 3, I'm not trading at all. You can't get me to trade a 3. I'm not interested. Okay? So and these are ranks that we use in power option plays. All right? So now let's go ahead and let's go get Netflix up intraday now. And we're looking, this was on 25, so looking at 326. So what in the world happened on 326, which is this day right here, right? So I can actually bring that up a little bit. Back one more day. Right here. This is 326, right? So let me see if I can make it a little bigger. Yep. Perfect. All right. So we gap down because you can't see that here. I see the whole candle, but I can't tell anything else about it. So when I start the day, I'm in position number 2. The market opens 9:30 and 1 second. We gap down. This first candle of the day, 5-minute candles these are, right? 5s. I immediately go back, position number 1 in the chair. Nothing I can do. The next candle, position number 1. The next candle, position number 1. The next candle, I'm in 1. The next candle, we bounce a little bit higher. I'm back to position number 2. Now I'm liking what's setting up here. This next candle, we blow right through that line and keep running. I can't really tell from this, but my charts have a 1 for top left, a 5 middle top. This is an SPX chart on the top right, but down in the bottom left, I've got a 30-minute chart and I've got a daily chart. I'm looking for confirmations of everything. I want to see the same pattern, meaning the same bullish type move. So we're going to go back and look at 326. And we're looking at the closing candle. See, it says 10 o'clock on the top of that box there. I'm going to point my finger out and show you, which you won't see. But the very top of that box that's moving around there, it says 10, right? That's the closing time of that candle. So let's turn this into a 1-minute candle. We're going to have to back up a little bit. I may have to go and actually make an adjustment to the chart. Where are we? That's 327. That's 326. Let's go back to the beginning of the day. 11 o'clock. Okay. So now we're looking for the 10 o'clock candle. 10 o'clock is closing price. That's 957, 958. That's 959. We broke out nicely. We had a high of 625.66 versus 624.63. We have $1.03 higher we got on that move up. I'd like to see $1, but you don't always get it. But I'd like to see $1 on the initial move. But I won't take that trade now, right? I need to see what happens on the next candle. Ideally, I got the breakout. That's great. That's what I want to see. I am not a breakout trader. I am not a trader that we ran into resistance, we broke through, and then we take the trade. We ran into resistance, we broke through, and we pulled back. That pullback will save your, I'll just say bacon, okay? Over and over and over again, I can promise you the pullback will do it, right? There you go. There you go, Stephanie, your assets. It'll protect your assets, exactly. But this next candle, we came down to a low of 624.82. So now we're talking about 19 cents away from support. So what did we just do? We broke out on a closing basis. We pulled back and we bounced. that setup is going to be on almost, not all, on almost every single trade that we take. That will be the setup. The only difference to that, the only reason that would not exist, let me just shut this down. Yeah, I'll save it. Let me open this up. Okay. So I'll go back a couple of weeks, see what I could find. Here, Square. Bullish with a pullback to the, okay, so that one was not a, that was the same thing. That was, we're going to be bullish. It was up already, had moved up, pull back to the 8 and bounce. We'll take the trade. Right? A lot of day trades, Here, booking bearish below 34.60 aggressive. Why? It had already done some kind of retest and fail or retest, and it's sitting at a support level, at a resistance, let's say. And now I just need to fail, get down below 34.60. We'll take an aggressive trade, which for booking is always our regular trade. It's 4 contracts. Okay. So that setup is across 90 plus percentile of my charts. My trades will have this exact setup on it. The breakout, intra-candle, right? Or intraday rather. It broke out. It retested the next candle. It bounced. I would be looking at about $1 above that level, right? And where did we actually get in? So on Netflix, we got in at 625.5. The support line, I'm just going to bring us current now. The support line is 624.63. So we got in at 625.5. We got out of that trade when the stock got to 629.25. That was $2,925 for 10 contracts. If we go back to the 1 contract trade, we go back to the 1 contracts. I'll bring that spreadsheet back. I closed it down before. I think we'll bring it back. I want to bring it back. Okay, there we go. If we go back to the 1 contract trade, we're up $292.50 on that trade for 1. Just 1. And if we look, my option chain doesn't want to open up now. Very interesting. Oh, that's because I dragged it down here. So here's Netflix. Let's go back to that same question right now as far as Netflix goes. How much is it going to cost me to do this trade? Netflix, 65 delta. If you're buying a call option, it's going to cost you $11.63. If you're buying a put option, it's going to cost you $11.70. That's too expensive. That's okay. Wait until Wednesday or Thursday to trade this. Don't take a trade on Netflix on a Monday or Tuesday. They're going to have more expensive options. Closer you get to Friday, you're doing it for the day. Closer you get to Friday, the much less it's going to cost you. Right? You don't have to trade them all today. Right? You may trade NVIDIA only on Fridays because of the cost of NVIDIA, which would be $25 for the option or so. Yep. Jonathan said, ha, so many traders trade breakouts. Correct. Yes. And I'm not, listen, I'm not saying it don't work, but I can tell you right now that I will find you more trades that fail on a breakout than you will find that ones that do not. This one worked extremely well, right? We pulled back. This breakout failed, right? That gap up, that worked. Okay. That one worked. This one didn't work. Let's see. We got nothing. Okay. This one didn't work. This one didn't work, nor did this or this or this. That really wasn't a break. Well, I guess, yeah, it was a breakout, right? You will find over and over again that breakouts do not have as high a probability as a retest. And there's a reason for it. This is why it's the best pattern in the world. Remember, what took place? What transpired on that stock to make that happen? right? We closed, this candle was our closing day. So I'm going to redraw it, okay? We closed right here. We pulled back and we bounced. So what happened? Overall, the bulls, BU, the bulls were in control here. On this move here, the BE, the bears attempted to take control back. On that move right there, the bulls took back over and said, ha ha, you couldn't do it. We're going to keep rocking it from here. Now, we failed the next day, and that's okay. I don't care about tomorrow. I only care about today because it's a day trade. I don't have to chase after that, right? Well, Gwen said, so, but if you want to trade on Wednesday and Thursday, the trend may change. How do you handle this? Really, really great instruction. Well, I appreciate that. So I was using that as an example, Gwen. What I meant before it was don't even look at Netflix until a Wednesday or a Thursday if it's too expensive on Monday and Tuesday. That just doesn't count. We don't even look. It doesn't count as a candidate for me today. Then look and say, is it setting up today? Right? I'm not saying that it's a good trade on a Monday, but you don't want to put that much money into the trade, so take it Wednesday. No. The setup still has to be there, and it wasn't. So where would I be looking right now? If we get a failure, if the market's down tomorrow, if we close where we are right now, and the market is down today, tomorrow rolls over again, keeps pushing down, I'm going to trade this one to the downside down to $600. I got a $10 move. If I could pick up $6 or $7 of that, I would be tickled pink, fat, dumb, and happy for it and be glad to walk away and say, thank you very much. I'll take it. I'll take it. All right? Guys, the greatest pattern of all time ever that I have found, and I am a tester. I do back tests, analyses. I don't just come up with numbers and say, this is what works. Your stock is running, it pulls back, it bounces, take the trade. Oh, but if I took the breakout, it may work. I'm not saying it won't. I have a friend of mine who's a good breakout trader. I can't do it. I have so much better results when I could see that the overall group in control were the bulls, the pullback short term were the bears, and the bulls took it all back over again and rocked it and said, ha ha, you lose, and took off again. Guys, was this helpful? Give me a 1 for yes, a 2 for no. And it may not be for you, and you can say 2, that's okay. It is a GOAT, greatest of all time, in my opinion. A lot of thank yous, awesomes in there. I definitely appreciate it. All right, folks, we're done. It's after 1 o'clock already. So I appreciate y'all being here. Lee dropped some links in to get set up there for Dale. Take advantage of that. Lee, do me a favor. Drop in a link if you would to Power Option Plays. Guys, there's a 2-week trial. Take the quarterly, get the 2-week trial. Come in and watch everything I do for 2 full weeks. If you decide it works for you, do nothing. If you don't like it, send us an email. We'll cancel the subscription. No harm, no foul. You will never charge for it, right? Before that 2 weeks. But take advantage of that. Tim, I'm looking at options that expire as short of time as possible. If I can get it for this week, if it's Friday afternoon, I'm trading that Friday. Today's expiration of today is Friday is what I'm looking for. All right. Super helpful in trading cryptos. There you go, Gwen. Yeah, I'm heavily weighted in Bitcoin and Ethereum right now, so I hear it. All right, everybody. Hey, I'll leave we'll leave the links on for a little bit. You have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all at our next update. All right, bye for now.